This is my brand new gauntlet, a costume piece carefully designed in a style matching the late 16th century. I crafted it entirely from scratch, without access to 3D scans or real armor, and with somewhat limited resources. My name is Nico, a mechanical engineer by trade. I design and craft historically accurate 3D printed costume armor. Now, I'm going to walk you through my design process, the harrowing behind the scenes that somehow yielded this beautiful prop. Let's go. Hey, to begin, we won't be starting empty-handed. I have a modest 3D printer, an Ender 3, which I've used for every other piece of armor I've designed until now. Also have SolidWorks for makers, an engineering CAD software. I know it might be easier to design armor in, say, Blender or ZBrush, but I'm sticking to the devil I know. Finally, I have a roof over my head, some basic tools, a lot of willpower, and enough free time to dedicate to my hobby, and I think that's what matters most. Let's begin with looking up proper references. There's plenty on Google, Pinterest, and museum websites, but my favorite here is the website for Alan Wade's incredible personal collection, Alan Antiques. This guy is generous, knowledgeable, and he shares these super high-resolution pictures of real armor, along with his insights. This is how I'm usually able to deduct the shapes, function, and inner workings of any armor part. By basing myself on a mix of pictures, I can quickly approximate the first part, the cuff of the gauntlet, using lofted surfaces in SolidWorks. I'm also using a reasonably accurate dummy model of the human body as a scale reference. The rest of the hand will eventually follow, but right now, I slice the cuff model and I fire up the 3D printer. With that ongoing in the basement, I can keep working on the CAD model. Actually, I lied. What I showed you was already the fourth attempt. Maybe this time, though. Oh no, it's bad. And it's kind of mismatched when compared to the reference. Back to the drawing board. Now this looks promising. I rounded out the edges, and I made sure I could pass my entire hand through it. Let's get that fifth iteration printing. Ah yes, this is it. Gentle sweeping curves, pleasing shapes, and it fits me like a glove. Time to make the rest of the hand using this as a foundation. Now, a quick note about how I CAD articulated plates for those out there crazy enough to design their own suits. The goal is to have a series of equally spaced overlapping plates, following the curve of the hand harmoniously and flowing together where they overlap. If you design the hand plates one at a time, maintaining a flowy curve can be challenging, and the continuity between plates must be kind of eyeballed. Even worse, because every curve relies on the previous one, you might not end up where you want to. If you have to change any of the plates, all of the ones upstream and downstream will have to be manually edited to match too. It's basically a nightmare. The best strategy is to make a master curve, here seen in green. All of the following plates will be created using progressively larger offsets of this master curve, trimmed into shape. By changing the master curve, all of the hand plates will automatically be updated to match, while maintaining perfect curvature and tangency. This was drawn in 2D for simplicity's sake, but my 3D model follows the same offset idea using surfaces. There's a master surface, and every consecutive plate of the hand is offset just a little bit, then trimmed into shape. Moving or changing this master surface will update all of the articulated plates resulting from it, because the offsets remain the same. Here's a time-lapse of the hand plates CAD. First, the master surface, and then you can see all the plates appearing one by one, being trimmed using vertical planes. Finally, I CAD'd a knuckle plate manually. That's the only part not created using an offset. And here we are. The majority of the gauntlet is ready to be printed for a fit test. I assembled the prototype by hand pressing rivets together just to see what it feels like. The articulation is looking good. Carefully, I put it on, and Oh no. Somehow the 3D model I used for scale had much wider paws than my dainty little office worker hands. So back to the drawing board. After scaling the 3D model to fit my hand by making the cuff and master surface narrower, the fingers don't line up anymore. It doesn't matter. I'll have to reprint everything anyways. So I take the time to re-export every part that has been modified, and I fire up that 3D printer again. This new prototype is looking good. The articulation is great, the fit is fine. At long last, I think this is it. It's time to move to the next steps. I reprinted the hand plates in a material more rugged than PLA. I used PETG. I take the time to print the smaller parts too, like the thumb plate, hinge plates, finger elements. I readied the parts for painting by lining them up. First a coat of primer, then wet sanding down to the print wall. I re-primed all the parts, layered a glossy enamel black base, then I airbrushed Alclad 2 high shine paints. Finally some oil wash weathering, smudges, rivets, and the final assembly. But something feels wrong. When I was assembling the gauntlets, I think I started to prefer the proportions of the hand with 4 sections rather than 5. Here you can compare both, and finally the reference. I just didn't like the version I had originally set out with. In a stroke of luck, the holes for the knuckle plate lined up with plate 4. Thankfully, it was a quick fix. With the CAD model updated, I was able to get started on the finger assemblies, held together with rivets, super glue, and my hopes and dreams. I gave the finished assembly a try, and nice. Using contact cement and shoe glue, the glove was fixed onto the gauntlet. And just like that, unceremoniously, it was done. As soon as that was finished, I took a bunch of pictures, I tidied up my documentation, and I readied the whole package with instructions to be published on my various shops. And then at last, I really took the time to admire it. I really need to get started on the second gauntlet to complete the pair. Thankfully, I can just mirror the parts in my slicer. With all that being said, June is going to be a very busy month for me, and I'm not sure how ambitious I can be with this month's project. I want to keep the big, highly requested parts, like a helmet, a clothes helmet, and some leg armor for a month where I can fully dedicate myself to the craft and deliver the quality that I've become known for and that you expect and deserve. I think June will be about revising the pauldrons. Perhaps I can make an asymmetrical design, some accessories, or even an entirely new design. We'll see. Stay tuned, subscribe for more, and we'll see what next month brings. I really look forward to reading the comments below. I read all of them, and I've been very touched by those of you who have subscribed to a channel with only a single video. The kindness and generosity that you've expressed in the comments towards me, my imperfect English, and my less than perfect production value. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best and happy crafting.